All right. So first of all, happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the same to you too.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
And I'm Juan.
I'm Monica.
Kelly.
I'm Michael.
I know.
I'm Marcus.
Marcus, nice to meet you. So you are the first person that I've actually interviewed out here. Um, I wanted to go out on Thanksgiving and just talk to people who are actually out here on the street and hear about what it's like spending the holidays out here, and kind of your story, and like just a different perspective on what Chicago's like actually being out here.
Homeless?
Yeah, homeless, exactly.
Okay. Well, I mean, with me, I've been homeless now for a year.
This winter will be the third winter.
8 months.
8 months. Okay, so you haven't experienced the winter yet in Chicago.
No, I'm kind of dreading that actually.
5 years.
5 years. So you've experienced 5 winters in Chicago on the streets.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? What's it like when it gets, below 30 degrees and it starts snowing outside and all that?
Oh man, it's terrible.
Well, I'm scared because I've been trying to get me an apartment this winter, but with me not having a permanent job, because I work day labor and stuff like that, most of the time, studios and one bedroom apartments, they starting at $500 to $700. And like last year, I was out here, I slept on the train most of the time, and I learned that it's a whole lot of people homeless. I mean, with the situation I'm in, I think that it's a lot of people are homeless in Chicago, and a lot of times people will ask you to go to the shelters, which I did go there, and believe it or not, some of the shelters have bed bugs and stuff you would never think is there.
They ain't changing their linen the way they supposed to,
Yeah.
And that's how the bed bugs come. They have them in their backpack, you know what I'm saying? But one time I seen one of my friends, he had so many bugs on him, man, it was a shame,
Oh my
you
God.
know? And it wasn't just no bed bugs.
What
It was
else
some
was it?
other kind of bugs.
Lice and stuff, or like,
I don't know if it was lights, you know what I'm saying? Because I never experienced lights,
yeah.
but it was a lot of bugs. And I was helping them get them off of them, right?
Yeah.
And I guess they jumped, and they jumped on me,
They got
man, and tore my skin up. I went to the hospital.
They actually separating everybody because the norm can't go back in the shelter because they don't know who got this disease. So say it was 100 some people there now, it's cut in half.
Okay.
Only like 60, 50 people could be there now because they serious about the 6 feet, 6 feet, 6'3",
Yeah.
Well, I used to sleep on the train, but like Marcus said, they have those white lice bugs on there, and they are like terrible, and they get in your like clothes, like in the seams, and of course it itches like crazy. And like the only way to obviously get rid of them is just throw your stuff away. But we actually last year we was riding the train. The year before that, um, the first year actually, Northwestern has a warming center at nighttime. Like I think it opened up at 10 p.m. and then you have to leave at 5 a.m. So it's just sleeping there. I mean, it's not. There's no like beds or cots or anything. It's just chairs. You just sit in a chair. Usually everyone's sleeping. But this year, we found a spot in the subway off the Blue Line.
So you would prefer like staying on the streets of Chicago instead of the shelters?
Yes, I'd rather be honest.
Wow. Talking to a few other people, and they were saying like a lot of times when it gets cold, they'll go to the subway or the train rather.
We ride the train, the bus.
Bus.
You know what I'm saying? We'll go down to the airport.
Airport.
We'll sleep down there. Possibly, anywhere we think it's a little warm at, that's where we'll go.
5 years. So like out of all the winters, like I guess what's the worst that you've experienced? I heard about people getting frostbitten. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a couple of guys down there in Lower Walker Drive got frostbitten and died.
they died from being frostbitten.
Yeah, in the tent.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It was so cold.
Did they have sleeping bags and stuff, or like
Yeah, we had sleeping bags and everything, but it was just so cold.
didn't even matter?
It didn't matter.
You know, Chicago historically has gotten into the negatives, and I mean, it's a little warmer this Thanksgiving, but usually around this time of year, like it's getting into the 10s and 20s. Do you have a plan for like when it gets really cold? Are you planning to stay on the subway, or like, you have any idea?
Well, I have these people that let me stay in this parking garage, and it's really warm up there actually. Like, you can be in shorts and a t-shirt, but I have to be out of there from 7 a.m. till about midnight. So, I'll go ride on the subway, but like I kind of told you before I was on camera, I had, a horrific thing happen to me on the subway. I was raped and I had my throat cut. Now I'm gonna get emotional.
Take your time.
So it's hard to be a woman and be out here and even have a guy come up to you and think that they're gonna help you because you don't know what they're gonna want in return.
Yeah. So sorry.
But since this whole pandemic, it's like people have really slowed down on like giving people money. But
So that is something you've noticed is during the pandemic. Obviously, there's less people out here. I mean,
there's less people, and then the people that are out here, I think, like, because a lot of people have told me too, like they're struggling too,
Yeah.
like with bills and working, and their hours were cut or whatever. So yeah, but definitely there's less people.
do you feel like there's more homeless people, or are there less homeless people as well?
I feel like there's more homeless people, and I know I'm thinking because some of the homeless people that were staying in shelters, a lot of the shelters had to cut down their capacity by 50% because they had to do the social distancing. Like the beds were like right next to each other, and they had to do the 6 feet. So they pretty much kept like the older people and the ones that have like a physical illness that are more prone to getting the virus. Like those were like the first priority in the shelters, and everyone else pretty much
Just kind of went to the street.
When the virus came about, it made homeless really harder because for 2 months it was nothing going on downtown. Cause I basically live down here now since I became homeless.
Okay.
And with that 2 months, it was like nothing out here. I mean, you and I really mean you could count on one finger or one hand, like 2-3 people. Like right now, it's crowded against them 2 months when no one out here. But it kind of scared me really bad. And then like I believe in God and everything, and it should have to me made us a lot closer, but it made a lot of people a lot nicer though since I became homeless. But it seemed like in the beginning it made a lot of us afraid.
They kind of most standing off, you know what I'm saying? Before the virus came out, they was hitting us real nice. Now, you know what I'm saying? It's hard if you get $25 a day now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's coming from, you know what I'm saying, a lot of robbing been happening, you know what I'm saying, down here and on the train. But, yeah, they, like, pull apart, it's kind of hard.
You were saying that you were originally working in a restaurant, and COVID kind of hit, and then the restaurant went out of business, right?
Yeah.
Is that why you're on the street? Did that happen 8 months ago?
It happened about 9 months ago. I had enough saved up for like another month's rent and, like food, toiletries, stuff like that. But then once that ran out, I don't have family. My mom and dad have passed away. I never had any siblings. I don't have children. So it's just me.
With the pandemic, do you feel like there's more homeless people or the same amount, or have you noticed a change with that at all?
Oh, it's more, man. I'm talking about you got some sleeping all in the park. They got tents all on the expressway. You know what I'm saying? Where the grass at? They everywhere. You know what I'm saying? All up and down Lake Street.
I had been out here for like 2 weeks, and I was just, my pride was too much. After my parents passed away, I became very self-sufficient. And to have to ask somebody for money or change, like it was hard for me to do. And I walked up to this guy. It was over on Hubbard Street. He was getting on his bike, and I just said, anything you can. I needed like $13 more for my room, and we conversated. He had me tell him my story, and I said, all right, well, I got to get going. You know, it's getting late. I want to get my room. And he said, I got to give you the rest that's in my wallet. And it was almost $400. And I seen him a couple weeks later. His name was Justin. And he said, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I needed that hug. I was going to commit suicide that night. But you came and you just gave me a hug and you were so kind. And he's like, to hear your story and for me to feel like my life was rough. He's like, you know, you opened my eyes and I appreciate it, because he's like, he would have taken himself and his family, his children, his wife. And I said, someday I'm going to repay you. And he's like, no, just pay it forward. Like when you see someone that's in need, just pay it forward. So there are some hidden angels out here.
When the riots were going on and they were lifting the bridges and everything like that, how did that affect living out here?
Well, with me, I know a lot of officers down here, and I was asleep one night, and I kept hearing stuff. They was breaking the windows and stuff, and then I woke up and realized that they was tearing up all the stores, and it shocked me because, I mean, to me, that didn't make the situation no better. I mean, I didn't think they should have did that. You know, but you got, like I said, when they locked us down for them 3 months, a lot of people lost their jobs, you know, so you got to figure, how, like, I'm homeless, think about it. How they going to pay their rent?
It was a disaster, you know what I'm saying? Like people just went haywire, went crazy, you know what I'm saying? Breaking all in the stores and the grocery stores. Why would y'all want to break in the stores and grocery stores in our neighborhood where we got to go shop at? How we gonna eat if y'all doing all this here?
What's it like with local police, and like for the most part, do they leave you alone unless there's an emergency, or like is it kind of tough being homeless out here? Do you get a lot of people who are kind of trying to intervene and like, you know, get you off the streets?
The cops aren't really. I've never really had any encounters with them, and actually, like, you know, I sit on State and Lake also outside that Chick-fil-A, and a lot of the cops are always sitting there on State and Lake, and they always go inside Chick-fil-A, and a lot of the cops buy me like lunch all the time. I've never, like I said, I've never had really any encounters with them, but there is a lot of mentally ill homeless people out here, and a lot of people that are homeless people that are alcoholics, and like I know the cops, you know, always are it's not really messing with them, but they're doing something in order, you know. And that's really the only thing like I've seen them really, the cops really do with like you know, with homeless people. But for the most part, like if you're not doing anything, you know, to, you know,
Antagonize.
yeah, and like they call it aggressive panhandling. It's like when someone has like a cup and they're like going up to people, like sticking in their face and stuff.
They call that aggressive panhandling?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like sometimes like the people will be scared or whatever and tell the cops or call the cops, and you know, the cops will come to that person, you know, and either give them a ticket or take them to jail or whatever. But like this, like nobody bothers me like ever.
I done seen several times where they in their cars and them fell asleep. You know what I'm saying?
The police?
On duty.
Wow.
You know, instead of,
Oh, no, go ahead.
instead of them, you know what I'm saying, doing what they supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? There's something happen downtown, they gonna be everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, just like now. Look, majority of every block, you see them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you go to certain neighborhoods and they don't even drive through a lot of the times.
You know what I'm saying? And that's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? If they ride them blocks like they supposed to, a lot of this I don't think it'll happen. I don't think it'll happen. You know what I'm saying?
Do you come around this area a lot, or do you go to like the south side or like, you know, west side, or?
I try to stay around here because it's not like I accidentally wound up on the west side one time, and it was terrible over there.
Yeah.
So I try to stay kind of around here because it's more, I don't know, safer, I guess you could say. I feel, you know, there's cops on every street here, so I feel more safer around here.
Okay. Are you ever afraid because of the gun violence out here? You know, Chicago is kind of synonymous now with guns, and that's a heavily debated topic. But are you afraid when you sleep at night that you might get hit by a bullet or anything? I mean, this area is pretty safe, you know, downtown, but like you were talking about the west side, just in
Right.
general, you know?
But you know what though? I never thought about it that way or looked at it that way. You know what I'm saying? You know, I always, like I say, that's why I stay prayed up and talk to my higher power. You know what I'm saying? It covers me with the blood of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And I ask him to keep me out of the harm's way. And when I say my prayers every day, you know what I'm saying, and talk to him, I put it in his hand. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? If it's meant for me, it's meant for me. If it ain't, it ain't. You know, I don't want to get shot or nothing like that there, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's pretty cool where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even worry about it.
Recently, I slept on a train and two guys tried to jump on me and take my stuff, you know, and I'm not doing that no more because it's bad enough my eyes closed and I wake up and you attacking me. So it's safer when we sleeping close around each other.
Like I said, I was reading about it, right? And I said 50 people, they got shot over the weekend. 5 died. You know what I'm saying? Wow, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm talking about, I get on the train, man, I be riding, I just be listening to people when they be talking about, man, such and such just got shot. You know what I'm saying? Such and such, you know what I'm saying, man, died over the weekend, you know what I'm saying? And I just pray and ask God, could he turn things around, you know what I'm saying? To stop all this tragedy from going on, you know, and just help the people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I pray for them. Yes, I do. I pray for them every day, you know what I'm saying? Because it's trouble, man. It's trouble. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I think Chicago's got it bad. You know, I don't know if it's the gangs or the fact that like gun control out here isn't great, or I'm not entirely sure. But it seems like this city is starting to get known as a place where there's a lot of guns, a lot of shootings, and it's a shame. I mean, it's a beautiful city. You know.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, man. I be wanting people to be safe to go anywhere
Yeah.
they want to go. You know what I'm saying? And not worry about a bully gonna come past them or anything. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's bad, man. And I don't know where they getting these guns and all that they're from. You know?
You meet some people that are just absolutely evil. Like they'll do anything, especially crack addicts around here. I hate to put that label on people, but they do whatever they can for that drug, and you don't know if someone's gonna, you know, rob you even though you don't have much, or rape you, or, you know, and it's not just the men. Women can be very, very vindictive and vicious out here. You know, I've been told you don't look homeless, but I just say, well, hunger can't be seen. You know,
Yeah.
it can't. You can't tell if someone's hungry or not.
A couple of weeks ago, I had went out west, and they was shooting, but they was shooting at somebody on the street, but they shot into people's house and shot the little girl.
They shot a little girl through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I'm
and
saying?
and you don't even like I don't even know which story you're talking about, but it's so common that it's just that happens all the time out here.
That's right, and I'm talking about, man, it don't make no sense, man. And they need a lot of police to, you know what I'm saying, to patrol the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, them blocks, you know what I'm saying. They don't do that.
Do your family members know that you're out here on the streets of Chicago, and do you talk to them regularly?
Yes, well, my brother, I love him to death. I can live there and visit, but I don't want to put, you know, my situation on him because he's married, he got kids, and yeah, I could stay there, but I mean, I'm used to having my own, so my situation, I'm not trying to be a burden to, you know, no family members.
I have a brother and a sister, and then my parents are divorced. My mom just actually passed away last month, but we always just always bumped heads. Like, I don't know. My dad was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and um, she always used to like compare me. Like, my dad disappeared like out of my life, when I was younger. And she always used to be like, you're just like your father, just every little thing I did, and she met the guy that she was married, she remarried, which is my stepfather, and at the time, like, I felt like, I was like I had like abandonment issues, like, I was younger, fourth, fifth grade, but I felt like she chose my stepfather over me.
No, I ain't really got no family right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had my mom, you know what I'm saying? She just passed last year, so,
Sorry for your loss.
you know, no, I'm practically out here by myself.
Brother's probably the only one that I really talk to. My sister, she's got her own problems, her own life. Yeah, I mean, I was just the black sheep, just, you know, I didn't, I don't know. Like, we never had to, like, really want for anything, like, growing up. Um, but it's just, I don't know.
How often do you talk to your brother? Is that a regular thing, or is that once every now and then?
I would say maybe once or twice a month.
I know you said both your parents passed away, right? You don't have any family in Michigan? Nobody, no close friends or anyone that's curious about you?
Yeah, I have one friend. Her name's Holly. She's actually working for NASA right now. She's going to. She's not working, but she's like has to do stuff for free for so long.
Like an intern?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I talked to her like a couple months ago. She like MoneyGram me like a couple $100, and because she knows, she's like, Monica, this isn't you. Like, are you all right? Like, she didn't know if like maybe I lost my mind or something. I was like, I'm just fucked up. That's what people say out here. I'm just fucked up. Like, I didn't ask for it. I had a job. I graduated school. I went to college. Like, I'm just in a messed up situation right now. So I'm just trying to be she's like, you're the only person I know that can still make me laugh and be so kind. Because I'm even like, do you need anything? She's like, what?
Do you need anything?
She's
I'm
like,
on the streets of Chicago. Wow.
So she's like, you're a good person. She's like, you're going to get blessed for all this. She's like, there's a reason you're going through it. She's like, and maybe it's to meet somebody. Maybe it's to, help somebody. Maybe it's to save somebody. And then the next day is when I met that guy that wanted to commit suicide. So maybe that was my purpose for being out here, was to save that man's life. I don't know.
I also, I didn't say this part, but I have a 19-year-old daughter.
Wow.
And my mom had, well, actually, I still have had guardianship when she was younger. My mom just had legal guardianship. I had custody. She had legal guardianship. And she had her since she was like 8 months old, just because I had her when I was kind of young, and just the situation I was in at the time with her father was not good. He was like a gangbanger, and it was just bad. But he's deceased now. He died in 2007. And so my daughter goes to college in Florida. And she was living with my mom since my mom passed. In the past couple months, she's been like crushed because that's really who raised her. I mean, I still talk to her. We still have a relationship. I talk to her at least once a week, sometimes more. Sometimes we'll just text, or she'll text me and just let me know, because she's been going back and forth. Because of my mom, being sick, and then of course because of this virus, she's been coming back and forth because a lot of the classes are online anyways.
When's the last time you saw her? Did you see her when she was down here recently, or?
Yeah, my mom died October 10th, and then they had a memorial for her October 14th. So I saw my daughter October 14th, and then I saw her not last weekend, the weekend before.
Okay.
Yeah, she's working with my brother with like the house and stuff because she was living there, you know. They're gonna obviously have to sell the house, and my stepdad is going with his brother, moving into Michigan with his brothers, and then my daughter is just gonna be, you know, she goes to school in Florida. When she comes back here, she'll stay with my sister or my brother, whoever. Um, but she's like a big planner, so she's pretty much got her life all written down.
What's she going to college for at
She's
Florida?
actually going med school.
Med school, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna be a pediatrician.
Wow. What year is she in school?
Sophomore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wish her the best of luck at that.
Yes.
That's awesome. Do you ever come across people that you knew, like when you were growing up out here and stuff, like that see you out here on the street? Do they talk to you and whatnot?
Yeah, they talk to me, they don't change on me 'cause I'm homeless, you know what I'm saying? They still treat me the same, It's just, they do them, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, I can't knock them for doing them, but if they got something and I need it, they will give it to me.
They still care about you.
Yeah.
Last winter, when that Kris Kringle market was over by the Daily Plaza, two of my high school friends came with their families. They were going to the Kris Kringle market, and they saw me, and I was sitting there, and they were like, Kelly, and I was like, yeah, and they whatever, took me out to eat, bought me some clothes, gave me, some money and stuff like that. And actually, those two of my friends that I still like will check in with, or they'll check in with me, on Facebook just to see like if I'm doing okay. And of course they say like if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to ask. But I really hate asking people for like anything.
Do you have anybody who looks out for you out here? Like, you've been out here for 8 months. Are there any other homeless people that kind of, take care of you at all?
Yeah, there's this one guy. He's a little short black guy. He was around here. I don't know if he left or not, but he usually always comes, and if he sees anybody kind of messing with me or bothering me, or if I feel like someone's messing with me, he's been out here his whole life. Yeah. And he looks out for me. He's one of the good guys out here. Like, I've seen him help a lot of people, and I know that if something was going on really bad that I could go and ask him, but that's pretty much it.
We watch each other back, and most of the time we sleep around each other. Like, it's like four of us, me, the young lady over there, her boyfriend, and two more guys. So when we sleep, we watch each other back.
Oh, here he is. Speaking of him, I was just telling him, the guy that helps me out here, that looks out for me
Hey,
sometimes.
how's it going? I'm
He's
Juan.
doing an interview with me. I told him you've been out here for
Nice
a
to
while.
meet you, sir.
Yeah. He helps me out, just checks on me every
She
once
was
in a
just
while.
saying good things about you. Oh.
You okay?
All right. Yeah, I'm just doing an interview.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm okay right now. Keep it for yourself.
I just love seeing everyone with food. Like, that's the best thing you can see right now. I feel like.
How we were just talking
Yeah,
about
that's
when you
weird.
walked up. Isn't that crazy?
Right?
We stick together, but if anybody down here that's homeless and I can help them, I help them, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause sometimes they don't get no food and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And practically I get food every day, and I share it, to all the homeless, I won't turn my back on them,
What do you feel like is the leading cause of homelessness? Like, from what you see, is it a lot of people out here with like mental problems? A lot of people are running away from domestic situations, a lot of drugs. Is there a leading cause?
I think probably the number one would be like mental illness out here, because they did close from what I've been told, they closed like the mental facilities around here, because there's a lot of people that are mentally ill out here. Number two, I think, would be drugs. There's a lot of people. I would respect someone more if they came up to me and said, hey, I need to get right, or whatever the terminology is out here. I would probably give them the money, honestly, because I could only respect that you're being honest. And then with the COVID situation and job loss, I mean, that's the situation that I'm in right now, you know.
And there's a lot of drug addicts and, like I said, alcoholics out here that are not like it's like a vicious cycle, like for them, because like I said, I sit on State and Lake and all the L's are right there, you know, and um, I see them like, you know, come and whatever, make whatever money and get on the train, and you know they'll come back in an hour and a half. Obviously they went to go get their stuff, and they're coming, you know, come back downtown, make whatever money. It's just, you know, back and forth all day. Like,
Homelessness is just not for people that get high off drugs, drink alcohol. Some people homeless because they lost their job. They mentally messed up. They don't take their medicine.
Yeah.
I mean, it just ain't for. I mean, it ain't just drug addicts that's on the street.
And I do want to ask you that. That's part of the reason I'm out here. I want to understand better. I feel like a lot of people walk by homeless people and they assume that they have a drug addiction, or there's a lot of assumptions. So like, out of the people that you encounter out here, are a lot of them addicted to drugs, or is it mostly mental problems, or what do you see on a daily basis out here?
I do see a lot of people that's addicted to drugs, but I see more people that's they like mentally messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because you will see, I see more people that need help from doctors and they need medicine or something like that. Because I mean, I'm homeless, but I think I wake up with my right mind. I don't get high off drugs. You know, I know a few people that's out here. They don't do drugs, so you can't judge a book by its cover. You know.
Yeah, like, do you see like an average age of people that are out here? Like, is it a lot of older people, or are you seeing like a lot of younger people on the streets now?
It's a mix.
It's a mix?
It's a mix. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's a lot of old ones and there's a lot of young ones. You know what I'm saying? That's out here. You know, now it became to be a lot of women that's being homeless down here now.
A lot of women. And do they have kids with them too, or are they on their own?
Well, I've seen a couple of with kids. You know, they sleeping in the doorways. You know, and it didn't look right to me. You know.
Yeah.
all the time, like I've seen people that are homeless down here, like their families coming to look for them. Like, have you seen Jimmy? Have you seen Sarah? You know, like, I keep telling her she needs to come home. Like, she could come home. It's just me, you know, her mom. Her mom's like, it's just me in this house. Like, she could have everything, you know, and she just won't.
And like I say, the ones I hear with their baby, I feel sorry for them, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause it hurt me when I see a woman out here with her kids, you know, and especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
You know, I try to do my all for them anywhere, you know what I'm saying? I hate to see the kids like that.
When it comes to drugs, you were talking about crack. Is that what you predominantly see out here? Do you see methamphetamine? Do you see heroin?
A lot of crack addicts. A lot of crack. I've seen some people do heroin. I've seen lots of needles like on the grounds and stuff, but I haven't like witnessed that.
Yeah.
Like witnessed it, but I see a lot of crack addicts. A lot.
Okay.
What I see is more opioid. I can't even say
Opioid,
it.
yeah.
Opioid. And I see a lot of heroin addicts out here, and they take medicine, drugs with it. But like I say, that's only a few, because I really don't know them. So I don't really socialize with that. But what I see with my eyes, you could tell, because it's a guy.
They have track marks, is what you're saying.
Yeah, track marks. It's worse than track marks. I've seen some holes in people's legs and arms. It looked like a monster movie.
Yeah.
And I'm serious. It really looked like a monster movie.
How bad is prostitution out here? How bad is, sex and all that, or sex workers?
I haven't seen a lot. I've seen some women that are, addicted that'll go and do those things, but I haven't tried to, see it after the stuff happened with me on the subway.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I don't ride the blue line anymore or the green line. But I haven't really looked for it. I maybe have assumed, but I could have just been assuming that then people were like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people get picked up, but it's 9 times out of 10 they're probably addicted to some type of substance, to be doing those
Okay.
kind of things, because they're all nice girls. You know, they all have a story, and it's just sad that they feel like they have to, you know, belittle themselves and sell their body like that. Because I could only imagine. I know how it felt to get it taken from me, but to know that you're giving it away freely, you know, not freely, I guess, but doing something that you don't want to do, like I couldn't imagine how that would affect your mental, you know, like depression, you know, that would probably really screw somebody up. I think it would mess
For
me
the
up.
rest of their life.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way that you wouldn't have to deal with that on a daily basis. Are you on any housing lists or anything like that for an apartment?
They put me on the housing list, and I call like every month to see how far I am, you know. But since the COVID came out, I ain't seen them.
How does that work? Do they give you like a spot, like, all right, you're number 13, you know, and then you move up kind of in the ladder?
No.
They don't even let you know
No,
where
they
you're
don't
at.
let you know. You know what I'm saying? I call them, and they'll tell me, you know what I'm saying, that I'm still on the list, and that it's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, might be in front of me or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and I just got to wait.
I got like, oh my God, uh, 15 to 20 applications filled out for apartments. Uh, I mean, jobs, everything. I work part time, you know. Only thing sometimes slowing me down is because I can't wash up and get the right rest like I supposed to. Cause I still work.
Yeah.
And I know a couple of these guys, we homeless and they got permanent jobs. But you gotta think, where am I gonna get $1,200 at to move in an apartment at one time? You know, I mean, and I'm not saying I can't do it because I have did it before and I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
I'm on housing lists, you know, and I check in with my caseworker, you know, as much as I can, and like my money doesn't go for drugs and you know alcohol. It's like for need, you know, for needs, and I try to get a room like at least like once or twice a week. I used to be able to.
Yeah, through the 311, and they said they can get me in soon to this place. I think it's on the south side. I forget. I have it wrote down back at where I stay, but they have a place for just women, just men, and then they have a place for couples. But I'm like, there's like 16 or 17 more people in front of me. But they've, I guess, been moving pretty quick because it's getting cold. So hopefully within the next, you know, 30 to 45 days, and they can put you. If they don't find you an apartment, they'll put you in like a kitchenette, like hotel, I guess, for a couple months. So
Okay.
just kind of waiting.
And then of course like a lot of people, not the homeless people, but you know whatever, the people that you know walk past you and talk crap, like they don't even know what your story is, you know, like they don't know.
So do you have people come up to you and kind of confront you and talk to you like that, or is it mostly just in passing? Maybe you'll hear comments or like kind of just dirty looks or stuff like that?
Mostly in passing. I've never really, so nobody has never really like said anything like out of order, out of line, like you know, like this is not like we ever had a conversation and they, you know, were like, well, you know, talk crap. I mean, I've had people like just keep it real, you know, and was like, you know, like you're still young, like you could get a job, you know, and I agree with them, you know.
Yeah.
And then I go on to tell them, and I'm not trying to make excuses at all, you know, like I really want to work, and like I said, I've tried it when I was out here, you know, and it's just it's not, doesn't work.
I don't think anyone wants to sleep on the street, you know?
Right.
It just seems like no one would ever want to do that. I'm sitting here right now and it's uncomfortable. I mean,
Right.
you do that every day. I can't
Right.
imagine how that is.
Exactly.
If there's anything you could tell the people of Chicago about homelessness, what would it be? I mean, is there more that can be done than just giving money? Is it just people coming up to you having a conversation? Is it volunteering? What would you like to see people do differently to try and stop homelessness?
Uh, okay, in my situation, you know what I'm saying, that, cause I do have, people stopping here, talking to me and everything, and praying for me and all that there, you know, yeah. I wish, in my position, you know what I'm saying, I wish I could do the same thing, get out here, you know what I'm saying, and tell my testimony to a whole lot of people, you know what I'm saying, about how homeless I was and I'm ill and that I know God gonna bring me out of it.
A lot of times, me, I just want somebody sometimes just to sit down and ask me what happened instead of judge me when you first see me. Then a lot of people, they don't think I'm homeless, but I mean, who gonna lie about being homeless? I mean, I'm what I ran into, this was one of my worst nightmares because I never knew how it feel to want to take a shower so bad, a haircut, a shave. I mean, it's that's one of your feelings you miss. You really miss that.
But it's so easy that we get classified as we're just all drug addicts out here begging for money, to get drugs. But realistically, some of us just really want to eat some food. Like I could give, excuse my language, two shits less if I got money. If you bring me a plate of food, I'd be even more grateful for that.
Yeah.
But that's why I always put on my sign, willing to work, because maybe someday somebody will walk by and offer me a job.
Has anybody offered you anything as of now?
Not any work as of now. Like I said, there's the pigs that walk by and want sexual favors, which will never happen. But I've had a lady, she comes by every day usually and brings me a coffee. And she told me that she's got this little boutique that she's going to be opening up. And if she needs, some extra help, like stocking shelves and whatnot, that I definitely could come help her.
We still are humans. You know what I'm saying? We still humans. I just want to be treated just like everybody else. I made a couple bad choices, but I'm still human.
You said you went to college. Where did you go to college, if you don't mind me asking?
I went to Joliet Junior College.
JJC.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What'd you study at JJC?
I did medical billing and coding.
Okay.
I first the first year I went, I just took like gen eds or whatever, and then and then I did it's not like I don't have like my bachelor's or associate's degree. Like I don't have like a degree, but it's a certificate, and it's it pays well, and and it's something that I like to do.
Nice.
That's what I've always, since I got my certificate. That's what I always did. I worked in doctor's office in the billing department.
But I mean, most of the time, we just want somebody just to speak like the way you did. We missed that, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but once again, I'm gonna say this: we human.
Yeah.
We made a couple bad choices.
I agree. Like we were talking about earlier, I feel like a lot of people walk by and they have these stigmas and stereotypes in their head. And I think the last thing I want to ask you, if there's one thing that you'd like to tell everyone about homelessness other than what you just said, like if there's a way that people can, try to find a way better than just giving money on the street, would you say it's volunteering or like just having conversations like you were talking about? Or is there anything that you can think of?
Well, me, if I was in a better situation, I would pick one person, and if I could help them, I would stop and just ask them what do they really need. That's all. Cause most of us would tell you. That's what I would do. If I could help somebody, I'll stop and just ask them how they doing. Every day, just ask them, you okay? Stop there and just talk to them.
Yeah.
That's all we need sometimes.
Like, and I tell people all the time, like, I wish I could get a job, like, I wish I could just get a job and go to work every day. Like, it's really impossible. I tried working at even a temp agency because I knew I couldn't work at a doctor's office living on the street. I got all these bags, even if I had just one backpack, I don't have any clothes. Like, I get clothes, like, for a week, I wear the same clothes, and then a church, I'll go to a church or some donations or, unless I get, enough money, extra money, go to the dollar store and get something, like it's hard, like, and you just being clean, your hygiene, like me and Marcus, we go through baby wipes like crazy, like that's what we wash up with, and it's really, it's hard, and like I I didn't last but a couple days because I knew people were talking, like, and it's embarrassing, like it's not. You really need like you need shelter. You need somewhere to stay in order to like have a job and keep, stay at the job, keep a job. Of course, you need, an address. There's a whole lot to it. But there's some people that, have so much money, like they don't know anybody that's been homeless. No one in the family's been homeless. They've never they don't know anything about it, but they're the first ones to like judge you.
I think a lot of people will walk by homeless people on the street and just ignore them, and like they're having legitimate health concerns out there. They might be passed out, like you said, and it's kind of that city culture where we just ignore people no matter what they're going through. And I think if we could move past that, that is kind of a good first step, so.
But do you know when I was a kid, I wasn't, my family wasn't like that. And who I was around, maybe this was like 20 years ago, but Chicago always took care of their people. It seemed like since the years been going by, it's like we forgetting that people, we only need love. I mean, we forgetting that. I never seen so many homeless people than I have seen now.
But it's like just acknowledging, like that's my biggest thing too. Like it's not even about the money a lot of the times. Like just even people, like a lot of like high school kids, they're the ones that do this, and I give them props. They're always like, we don't have any money, but I just want to say, like, I hope you have a good day. And I mean, believe it or not, like that, that means more than anything, because they're not just walking by, like they actually see me, they've read my sign. So yeah, just like acknowledging me. Like, so I'm not, because sometimes I feel like I am like invisible.
This is in the future for you. Like, what do you want to stay in Chicago? Would you go to another state, or do you have any plans?
I like Chicago. I think there's a lot of opportunities here. But I've been thinking, if I'm gonna have to be outside for a while, I might go somewhere where it's a little more warmer, because being out in 20 below temperatures would probably be pretty hard to sit right here, and it's freezing. So I'm kind of comfortable here because I'm used to it. I've got to know people. Like, there's this place on, I think it's State Street, called Dough Brothers. And whenever I'm hungry, I can go get a piece of pizza there, soda. I can use their bathroom to wash up. Like, there's a lot of good people here that people don't realize that help the homeless. Like and I'm not the only person that they give food to. Like, anybody that stops there that's hungry, they give them a big slice of pizza. I've walked away with a whole pie before, and they make big, huge pizzas.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about it right now. I'm just praying about it, and hopefully, I know I'll get guided in the right direction. I know I will.
It gets so cold out here. You spent 3 years out here. Have you ever thought about trying to travel out to, like, say, somewhere warmer, like a California, or like, I know there's a lot of people out there, but the winters must be so brutal. Has that ever crossed your mind?
Yeah. I thought about it several times. I first of all, I hate change. And I know Chicago. Like, I know Chicago so well. And like I know, like, about the public transportation. Like, I know, like, all the buses and stuff like that. Like, and I'm scared to like go somewhere new. Like, obviously California, like there's gonna be public transportation and stuff there. But I don't know. I thought about it, and even if I ever did go, I probably wouldn't go by myself. I would probably go with somebody, just because it's a new place.
If you could do anything, let's say tomorrow you woke up and you weren't homeless, where would you be? Would you stay here in Chicago?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't change, you know what I'm saying, to go anywhere else, cause it's happening. everything happening here is happening everywhere. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'd rather stay here and deal with my problems here. I wouldn't take it nowhere else because I love Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go nowhere else better than Chicago. You know what I'm saying? You know, it ain't Chicago. It's the people that's in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's making it like it is. You know, if they can just we can just turn the hands of time and look back on when we was coming up, how it was, and can start this over again, I think it would be better. You know what I'm saying? I really do. You know, and no, I love Chicago. I don't want to go nowhere.
Nowhere else.
I
New
don't
York
care.
City, LA,
I
nothing.
don't care how cold it get here or whatever. I want to stay in Chicago. I love Chicago. I was born and raised here in
Yeah.
Chicago. Yeah.
Before I started filming, you were telling me about that book, The Secret, and like just having a positive attitude out here. And that's the one thing that's really honestly taken me a lot by surprise. Like every single person that I've talked to out here has positive things to say, and like maybe I've just gotten lucky, or maybe you have to be that way to survive on these streets. But like I really think that's just great, and I don't know if you want to say anything further about that.
Yeah, that book really, I'm a pretty positive Polly all the time. I try to be, but reading that book, I try to, whenever I feel myself getting like an attitude or irritable, I'm just like, this isn't gonna be forever. It's not gonna be forever.
Yeah.
I have this too shall pass tattooed right here, and I put it right there so I could always see it. And this was before I even became homeless, when I was going through a bad marriage, and nothing will last forever.
Yeah.
Nothing. People say infinity lasts forever. No, infinity can be penetrated. Anything can be broken. You can always walk through something and everything can get better. You just have to believe it. If you don't believe it, you've lost hope. And if you don't have hope, what do you have?
Yeah, I agree 100%. That quote, "This too shall pass," my grandma used to say that to me all the time before she passed away. She was one of the closest people in my life. So yeah, I definitely resonate with that as well. I mean, it's just true. You create a positive situation for yourself, and hopefully that's what becomes of it.
What makes my day go by, you know what I'm saying? Because, I believe in Christ, you know what I'm saying? And I talk to my higher power, you know what I'm saying? And I be out here, you know what I'm saying, standing, and I see the people walking back and forth, you know what I'm saying? That makes my day, you know what I'm saying? When I can see mixed people walking up and down the streets, you know what I'm saying, and ain't arguing, fussing, or fighting, you know what I'm saying? That makes me feel all right.
And I'm all right because I believe in God and He take care of the birds. So I'm one of the birds. Right now, I'm one of the birds.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm okay. I mean, who want to really live outside? You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm doing the best I can. That's all I can say.
I hear that.
Yes. Sure. Thank
That's
you.
so sweet.
Thank you so much.
Pumpkin pie and silverware too.
Sure. This is like the first real Thanksgiving food I've got.
Oh my god, we're still mildly warm.
Thank you so much.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
I had somebody walk up to Marcus while I was interviewing him too. It's just warming my heart to see people out here giving.
Yeah, I've got like so many like care packages, like just little baggies with snacks and stuff in it,
Yeah.
and socks, gloves.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Thank you.
Yeah, I got that on camera. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And you run into great people like that too.
I have one last question for you. With it being Thanksgiving and all that, is there anything that you're most thankful for today on all days?
Well, of course God, because when I first came out here, I didn't have anybody out here, and like that's who I was talking to. Like I felt like that was the only person that was listening to me.
Yeah.
But there's a few people that I've met. They're not homeless. There's people that live around here or whatever, that have like really really seriously helped me when I was at like the bottom of the bottom, and um, yeah. There's one girl in particular. She's pretty young, but she it's not even just financially. She has helped me out tremendously with that. Um, I was going through this really big depression thing, and she got me actually a motel room for like a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and she came like once a week and like went to the grocery store and bought me groceries. But yeah, there's yeah a couple of people that I'm thankful for that I've met, and yeah.
Sounds like there's a few angels out there, you know?
Yes, absolutely. There. Trust me. There's. Did meet some great people out here.
I just want to say I'm thankful for being able to talk to you, and just thank you for your time and taking the time out of your day.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure talking to you.
You too.
Yeah, I'm thankful for being alive, you know what I'm saying, to see another Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying, and I hope I can see many, many more, and everybody else too, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that's not here, that could have been here, you know what I'm saying. I thank God every day, you know what I'm saying, for each day that I wake up, and I say thank you, Lord, because you ain't have to wake me up, and I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying. I can't speak for the next man how he feel in his heart, but in my heart, I appreciate him. And I hope I see many, many more Thanksgiving.
You and I both.
For
um,
real.
all right,
Yeah.
Mike. I won't take any more of your time. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Okay, I appreciate it. I had fun talking to you too. I
Take care.
enjoyed it.
Happy Thanksgiving.
To you too.
Well, I'm thankful that I woke up this morning. And like I say, you asked me about my brother today. I supposed to go there and eat, and I'm gonna see my family. So yeah, I'm thankful. You know.
Wow. Marcus, I want to thank you so much. Give me the.
Okay.
Hey, I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
I'm thankful that you sat with me and cared enough to talk to me. I appreciate that very much.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful to be here with you as well, and you're truly a blessing to talk to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. This next part is going to be a little bit hard for me to explain. After spending the day on the streets of Chicago and hearing the testimonies of the people that live there, I wanted to then spend a night and try to better understand what it feels like to be in that position. I feel like a lot of change comes from inside, and this problem doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. So I wanted to literally put myself in their shoes and feel exactly what they feel when going through this. It was a relatively cold night. It dipped from 40 degrees to maybe low 30s to high 20s. So it could have been a lot worse. It could have been snowing, which I cover in the video, but there's no easy way to cover this, and yeah. I got lucky, and I got a day where there's not a lot of cold. It's about 39 degrees right now, so it's not too bad. I'm wearing my Carhartt. I have a mechanic suit on, and also I got hiking boots. It's gonna be hard to record this without, having anyone around. I'm sleeping out here on Michigan, so right across from the Under Armour. I noticed there's not a lot of homeless people in this area, and I think it's because it's really loud and it's hard to probably sleep here. I saw one other person nearby who was asking for money, and then somebody down the street. I found a good place right across here, and I think I'm gonna just try to stick it out here. Not too many people are passing around. I think as it gets later, it should be a little bit easier. I had a lady just stop, honk her horn, and ask if I was hungry. That was really nice. People out here are so friendly. I think it's because it's the holidays, but I like to believe like people are just like that. It's a pretty warm night. So I don't really think I'm gonna sleep much, but I got a blanket with me. This is actually a blanket that I've been handing out to everyone that I've been interviewing, and I have a few left tomorrow that I'm gonna hand out. It's really loud. I'm kind of just sitting back. My back's already hurting, and I haven't even been out here for an hour yet. So right now they're street sweepers. It's a pretty safe area from what it feels like. I do get a little worried when people walk by, but for the most part, it's just me in this area. So really beautiful view of Chicago from here. It's 2:30 right now. Haven't really been able to do that much filming. There's a police officer pretty close to me, which is nice, but for a while it took some getting used to. With it being so late, it's still pretty hard to sleep. I'm actually laying on the sidewalk right now, and still a couple people walking by, but at this point, with it being so late, a lot of them are, I don't know, maybe intoxicated, but there's a few cars that'll pass by every now and then. It's really hard to sleep because you feel like you're always being watched, and I can't even really show it, but whenever somebody walks by, I almost want to close my eyes just so they don't say anything or look my way, because it's just uncomfortable. All of this is uncomfortable. I'm laying on cardboard right now. I don't know how well that'll show. And then you can still see the street over there. So I'll update in maybe an hour or so. It's also getting really cold. I put my big gloves on, and I've got my jacket on and everything. I've got a few more things if I need it, but it's definitely in the mid-30s to high right now. It's not terrible, but it's just getting down there. So it's almost 4 a.m. I've been out here for about 5 hours now. The way I'm sleeping is basically against this storefront awning here. And over here on the street, right on this grass easement, I saw a rat not too long ago, but I've been lucky enough I haven't had any contact with any animals. Nothing's really come over here, or any insects or anything. But yeah, so the way I found to best sleep is I basically laid some cardboard against the corner here, and it's kind of a contradiction because you want to sleep away from the light. So you want to have your back, basically, you're in a fetal position. You want your back to be facing the sidewalk over here. However, when you do that, you're vulnerable. You're not really able to, you're not facing anything. So you don't know kind of what's behind you. And it is a really weird feeling, but you're blocking the wind and you're against this corner right here. And the other way I've been doing it is just putting my back against that corner as well. It's not comfortable. I mean, you're laying on pavement. If you've ever laid on anything close to pavement, it's terrible. I was able to sleep a little bit, I think. I'm not even sure. And as you can see, Chicago's still loud. I mean, there are cars that are passing by. There are ambulances, street sweepers. There are still people that are around as well. A couple drunk people out. Nobody's really heckled me or bothered me. In fact, there's a lot of police in this area, so that's been nice. But I did feel weird for a while. There was a police parker right over there, and I would rather them be there just because, there's always somebody watching, but at the same time, it is strange to try to sleep when you know that somebody's right over there probably looking at you. So there's not too many other people in the area as far as other homeless people. I passed by maybe one or two earlier on today, but the time is going by fast. It's cold out here. It's not freezing cold. I couldn't imagine being out here in 20-degree weather. I told myself I was going to do this, and no matter what the weather was, but Chicago was potentially calling for snow, and I don't know how these people do it. I mean, it's a feeling that I couldn't imagine being out here and risking getting frostbitten, and I mean, the risks are really endless, and I'm exhausted, but I'm gonna stay out here till sunrise. I do have a really nice view of the Marriott Hotel here and a few of the other high-rise buildings. The one thing I'll say, laying on the pavement of Chicago is looking up at the skyline is amazing. But other than that, it's what you'd expect sleeping on the streets would be like. It's not a bad area. There's a lot of other areas in Chicago that I would be very afraid to be at alone at 4 a.m. at night. But I picked this area because it seemed like the safest place to do this, and that was so far true. So one nice thing is I've come in contact with a lot of people who have offered me food. 3 different people. The last guy, he offered me peanuts, and I said no thank you, but still he said God bless and gave me a fist bump. And I think there's a lot of people out here right now that are definitely feeling the holiday spirit, and I hope it lasts past the holidays. I hope people are just doing this year round, I mean, from talking with the local homeless today, it seems like a lot of people care, and that makes me feel good. So my back is on fire. As I described in the other video, I basically am like propped against this corner piece right here, and or the wall behind me, as you see. It's kind of really driving me nuts not being able to see past this wall. I'll hear voices, and I don't know if they're coming here or if they're just standing in the area, and it's really hard because naturally you just don't feel really safe like that. I mean, already in this environment there's a lot going on, so I'm trying to just be aware of it all, but you really can't. I mean, you want to block the little bit of wind that there is, and you can't do that by just sleeping out in the open. All I have is a little piece of cardboard under me. See if I can show it there. And I'm just in this corner, but laying on the pavement, it hurts. I tried laying on my back for a while, and it was just painful. So then I switched over to my side. Then my side started to hurt. It's just hard to sleep. I mean, maybe in total 15 to 20 minutes. I don't think I could have gotten much more than that, and I don't think I'll be getting much more. Trying to just wait it out until sunrise, but it's tough. I feel like even shooting these videos, like I'm always looking up and just seeing what else is going on. And it's not even like, I mean, it's just the fact that like there are so many things around here. It's really just unpredictable. Going on about 5 a.m. It's probably the coldest it's gonna get tonight. And I'll show you how I'm laying down here in this corner. You can barely see it. It's tight. I've been laying like this for a while, but my arm is starting to hurt. My back hurts, but when I get up, it's just too cold. So I don't really have many other options. I'm pretty excited that the sun is going to be coming up soon. 1, because it'll get warmer, and 2, because I know I'll be done doing this. But for everyone else, that's not reality, and I just keep thinking about that. I mean, winter is here, and it's just going to get colder, so I'll be fine for 2 more hours, but thinking about somebody outlasting 3-4 more months like this, it just sounds miserable. It's almost 6 o'clock. That means less than an hour before sunrise. I keep looking up after trying to sleep, and just looking up at the skyline and wondering like how much more time I have left out here. And it really seems like it's dragging on, and it had me wondering, like, do the people who live out here wake up like that every morning, where they kind of look up and think to themselves, like, I only have this amount of time left, I only have 3 more months out here left, or 2 more months. I mean, I'm not even doing more than 10 hours, and I feel like this never gets easy. It's officially sunrise. Just wanted to show the area I slept in one last time. Spent the whole night here. 2 little pieces of cardboard in this corner. One last view of the skyline. I'm exhausted. People are starting to wake up, walk around. Someone running over there. It was a cold night. I'm just grateful it's over. I'm all packed up, getting ready to head back. I'm about to pass out. I'm actually going to go to sleep now. I didn't really sleep at all throughout that. I'm walking back. Looks like the sun is finally rising. Just some final thoughts. I mean, I'm just very thankful I have a bed to sleep in every night. And everyone that I interviewed had such a happy, I should say a positive attitude. And that really says a lot. Like, I don't know how you keep a positive attitude sleeping on cement every day like that. But it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. And that was a lot. Happy Thanksgiving.